State of South Carolina wants to execute a black man on the 29th of this month. State of South Carolina wants to execute a black man on the 29th of this month. State of South Carolina wants to execute a black man. We hope that doesn't happen. We send support to him and his family. This will be the first time in recent history of South Carolina that they will execute someone by firing squad. Believe it or not, I believe the South Carolina legislature reinstituted firing squad executions not too long ago because they were not able to find the 3-drug cocktail they need for lethal injection. In order to quench the thirst for blood that South Carolina Neanderthals have, in order to quench the thirst for blood that South Carolina Neanderthals have, the legislature in South Carolina went ahead and reinstituted death by firing squad. So if the brother's case is accepted by the Supreme Court, because as you know, the Supreme Court picks and chooses, the U.S. Supreme Court picks and chooses their cases. If the brother's case is taken by the U.S. Supreme Court, then Sister Judge Ketanji, who was just confirmed a few days ago, her very first case, Sister Judge Ketanji, I hope you're listening, your very first case may decide whether or not that black man's life will be taken by way of cruel and unusual punishment. How will you vote? Sister Judge Ketanji, your very first decision on the Supreme Court bench may center around whether or not this black man's life should be taken by way of cruel and unusual punishment, by way of the firing squad or the electric chair. How will Snow Bunny Ketanji vote? How will Snow Bunny Ketanji vote? How will Snow Bunny Ketanji vote? Let me see if we got any parents. We are here for the parents today, not for the politics.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, is it too late for my son? He's 19 years old, and he has been pulled over by the police twice now, and it's hard to, figure out what to do with him.
Okay. So what's going on with him? I know you said he was pulled over by the police twice, but what is your concern? What's going on with him?
Well, I feel as if he might be having mental issues, because it's mostly my boys, not my daughters. Mm-hmm. That's my main concern. And I'm like, why is it my boys and not my daughters?
Right. Well, I can say this. Oftentimes, and this might not be the case with you, good sister, but oftentimes mothers tend to raise their daughters and love their sons. Mothers tend to raise their daughters and love their sons, which means the daughters tend to do a little better. They tend to be more independent, more responsible, because they're given more discipline. Whereas with the boys, because the black woman is so afraid of what could happen to them in society, or because she feels so guilty that the father is not there, she tends to enable his dysfunctional behaviors and provide him and shower him with a whole bunch of love and emotional support, but she tends not to give her son the same discipline and expectation of responsibility that she gives to her daughter. So raising the daughters and loving the sons is one of the challenges of the single black mother household. Does that sound like you?
Yes, it does. And I was trying to figure out, is it because I'm not able to function as a man, or?
No, it's not that you can't function as a man. Again, it's that it's not natural for the mother in most cases to be the disciplinarian and the boundary setter. The disciplinarian and the boundary setter is usually the masculine parent. So it's usually the father. And so the balance of the household is the mother provides the emotional support and the father provides the discipline. So there, excuse me, you have your left brain, right brain balance in the home. You have your masculine, which is your discipline and your responsibility and your structure. And then you have your feminine, which is your love, your emotional support, you see. But when the father's not there, the mother has to play both roles. And
right,
of course,
and I'm having a hard time
right,
trying to make that happen because I feel like I'm always, at work, and I just I don't know how to execute that discipline that they need at this age.
How old are your sons?
19 and 12. You met one of them.
19 and 12. Okay, okay. What is the 19-year-old? Is he out of high school yet?
No, he's still struggling to try to do that. The judge did. He judged him well. He said, if you finish high school, I'll drop all of these charges.
Okay. What grade is he in?
Well, it'll be 12th grade. He's trying to finish right now.
Okay, okay. One of the things I often tell parents with high school students who are not necessarily motivated to complete high school is you got to have a real gut check conversation with your son to decide if it's better for him to just take his GED and get it over with. A GED prep course, which are normally free, but it might be better for him to take a GED prep course and go ahead and sit for his GED. That way he'll be done with high school and he can go right into trade school or college or whatever the case may be. And you guys are right there in the mecca of the HBCUs down in Georgia. You got Alabama, you got South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. You guys are right there in the center of HBCU country. So for me, the question is whether he should be focusing on a GED. If he's not going to finish, it ain't no need to play around with it. If he can, if he wants to finish, that's one thing. But if he's not going to take it seriously, it's no need to play around with it. And he needs to just go ahead and prepare for his GED.
Gotcha. That makes sense. My other son, he wants to start wearing makeup and stuff like that.
No, tell him we're not doing that. Tell him we're not doing that. Tell him in your house, you have a certain code of conduct. It's real simple. No debates. I'm the parent. This is my house. I pay the bills. When you move out this house, not when you turn 18, because he may very well still be in your house when he's 18. He may still very well be in your house at 21. You tell him when you move out of this house, after your 18th birthday, whenever that is, when you're out my house, then you can make decisions for your own life. But in this house, children do not make those kinds of decisions. Adults make them. And when you're on your own and out of my house, you can do whatever you want to do at that point. Now, but here's the question for both of your sons. Where is the influence coming from? With your younger son, where is the influence coming for him to join the Rainbow Nation? And for your older son, where's the influence coming for the juvenile delinquency?
TikTok for the 12-year-old.
Okay.
I believe strongly, but he says it's not.
So you saying there's a strong rainbow movement on TikTok?
Right.
Okay, I haven't really had a chance to really go through TikTok. So then you may have to ban him from TikTok. You may have to ban him from TikTok or give him an ultimatum. The next time you start acting like you want to float around my house, I'm going to ban you from TikTok. But you got to put some boundaries there. If it's already too far gone, then you might just got to ban him from TikTok because that influence is clearly getting the best of him, and we can't have that. We need men for our women in the community. So you may have to ban TikTok. Be careful what you say to him, though. Be careful what you say, because we're living in an era where children have a right to be adults. And if you say the wrong thing, they will accuse you of child abuse and try to take him from you and send him to a rainbow family where he's free to, you know, participate in things that we don't necessarily agree with under the umbrella of African culture. So, you know, I wouldn't even get into it. It's my house. We don't do it. And you're going to follow my rules. And by the way, let's take that TikTok off your phone. You need a break. You might just need to give them a break. There you go. Give them a break from TikTok. No TikTok until school starts back up. You're done with TikTok for this summer. This spring and summer, no TikTok. You might want to consider that. With your older son, he needs an after-school job. And he needs some sort of a structured activity that he can participate in. Where is their father?
Strung out on drugs in Toledo, Ohio, for the oldest one. He's already, you know, he wanted to sign his rights over at 4. So he never was a part of his life. The other one, he wants to get his son in for the summer, but he assaulted my daughter when she was 7.
Okay. But what type of assault?
The judge said that he's not doing any harm to his son, so he should be kept out of his son's life. So I was maybe forced to let him participate in his life.
Okay, so understood. Okay, yeah, well, that's serious there. That's serious, very serious. Probably the most egregious thing that you can be charged or accused of. So he's going to get his son?
He's got them already a few times.
He's in Georgia with you?
Yeah, you know, he's in Wisconsin.
Okay, so how do they...
He's had them a few summers, nothing happened, but he has some type of rainbow friends of the ex-wife was a major influence on the influence of her semi-rainbow son.
Okay.
So, and that's where I think he got most of his attributes and his desires from.
That's a tough one because that's a tough one. I'm going to tell you why. Because if I'm sitting in your seat, and I have a 12-year-old son, okay, and his other parent has a questionable rainbow history or a stepchild that might be a part of rainbow culture, you know, and then the parent was found to have abused one of my other children, and now my son has rainbow tendencies. There's very few situations under which I would say it's acceptable to withhold a child from the parent. Very few situations under which I would agree it's acceptable to withhold a child from the parent. But I'm going to tell you, sister, you might have just gave me my first. You might have just given me my first. I could not send my child to the other parent if that parent was convicted. I don't think I could send them. I couldn't do it. If that parent wants to see their child, it would have to be supervised visitation, possibly at the courthouse or inside the home of a relative. I could not send my 12-year-old around that type of energy. I couldn't. He could end up getting turned out. I could not do it. I cannot do it. Now, the judge, 99% of me says the judge should have denied him the visitation.
Right.
I understand potentially for the 1% why he didn't, only because the judge may have been of the mindset that he touched the girl, he didn't touch the boy. But the reason why I can't go with that either is because you don't know if it's a bisexual. You see, and you can't take the chance. You can't take the chance on your son's life to find out if the other parent is simply a heterosexual or a bisexual. It's too risky, so no. The judge should have voted it down. The judge should have voted it down. Your son's mental health and sexual health cannot be left up to chance because he simply has not been found guilty of touching boys. No, the judge was wrong. No. 100%, the judge was
Right.
wrong.
Great.
Should not have allowed him to get his son. Supervised visitation. You may have to go back to court. If everything you, if what, and again, this is all based on if everything you're saying is correct, okay, and true. You see, now if it was just an allegation and it wasn't proven, that's a different conversation. It's still a concern though, because you got the stepchild in there, you know, running around with the flag, even if it was just an allegation against the other parent. But if this was a proven thing and you got the stepchild, that's too much sexual perversion, deviation going on for me to send my child. My goodness, my goodness.
But thank you.
No problem.
I really appreciate that expertise and that conversation coming from you.
And you have my number, so reach out whenever you can. Your situation is a very challenging one, sister. We stand behind you. It's not easy. If there's any brothers out there who know of any programs for 12 and 17-year-old black boys, please reach out to me so I can reach out to the sister. If you know of any programs, I don't care if it's chess, mentorship, you know, boys club, anything that's positive for boys that we can send to this sister to get her sons involved in, please reach out to me so I can reach out to her. So if I hear from any brothers who is watching this live, I'll definitely get that information to you.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, Queen. Be blessed.
Okay.
All right. Man, it's a hell of a thing. And it makes it real bad for good brothers. Because what happens is when you date a woman with children, or even when you have your own biological children, sometimes women can never be comfortable with a man around their daughters, even when there is no evidence whatsoever of pedophilia, because of all the men who take advantage of young children. It's a shame. But let us also say that women are just as guilty. There's just as many women who take advantage of children as there are men. But that tends to go unnoticed, just like crime has been painted with a black face, has been painted with a man's face.